Music. All right. Time to get yelled at. There's no way around that. Welcome to the Crease, Tommy C. In the Crease today, Mr. Mecca Matt. All right, I'm going to get this out of the way because this needs to be said. I'm pissed like a lot of NHL fans today, and I'm going to voice it. I gave it to the Buffalo Sabres. I don't think it's only fair that the Philadelphia Flyer fans get it today. Now, before I get any kind of bullshit, if this doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you. If you didn't throw a bracelet, if you didn't disrespect a dead man, a guy that brought you a team that really wasn't a hockey town to begin with, if it wasn't for Ed Schneider, you wouldn't have shit. Shit. Philadelphia is a crappy fucking town a lot of the time. And they have a history of not only loser fans in the Flyers, but on the Phillies and the Eagles. If this doesn't apply to you, I don't care. I'm going to lecture the people it does apply to, because it needs to be said, and it's fucking disgusting. Yes, I'm going to moralize. Yes, I'm going to call Flyer fans out. Because if we don't, this shit's going to go on because people are going to think it's cool. And it's not fucking cool. What happened? Well, what is his name? Bellemare?
Yep.
All right, he's a Frenchman.
Mm-hmm.
And he tabbed Olaf in the back on the numbers. Dirty hit, going to be suspended. I have a history of being very fair, I think, to even guys that hit guys in the numbers. It's bang, bang. You're taught when you go out there, hit everything that moves. Sometimes you do it at the wrong time. That does not relieve Bellemare of his responsibilities, and it shouldn't relieve him of a short suspension. He should have quite a long one, and it should go into next year, right? That being said, the speed that this game is played at, I'm not saying it's acceptable, but sometimes it's understandable. Thank God. I honestly think if Bellemare hadn't left off, Orlov would probably be... He very well could be a paraplegic. Easy. That being said, he showed a lot of remorse easily right afterwards. He looked pretty shook up. I've seen stuff like this happen before. You know, you're in a zone, you hit the guy, but you can't touch the... You see those numbers, you back off. Everybody knows it. I don't need to lecture you on that.
Yeah, and once he was on the bench, he got hit in the nose with the wristband.
Oh, great. And so what do the Flyer fans do when this guy gets a completely legitimate 5-minute major? They take these stupid... and you know what? I tell you something. I don't want to lecture the people that came up with this. They light up during a pregame show or something like that? That was the idea. And the idea was it was going to light up in honor of Ed Schneider.
Yeah,
a guy who
like
shouldn't have brought you a hockey team because obviously nobody in Philadelphia can handle it. Was that it? It was supposed to be some kind of celebration thing? Who fucking in their right goddamn mind thought this was a good idea over there? You know why? Because Flyer fans have shown over the years, and remember, if this doesn't apply to you, I'm not talking to you. It doesn't apply to Pat. It doesn't apply to Sean Bonner. It applies to the people who continue to do this, who have given the Flyers this stereotype, this rightful stereotype. But the Flyers are this. Well, I'm not talking about you. I don't want to fucking hear it. I want to hear you as much as I want to hear Justin Advocare defenders. Jackass. This is low-life stuff. And the Flyers deserve the low-life stereotype because there is some accuracy to it. There are a group of Flyer fans out there that are the biggest losers going. And remember, none of them are my friends. I don't want to hear any shit. I would be ashamed of myself. I've talked to Pat offline, who's a big Flyers fan. He does a small podcast here on YouTube. He's humiliated. I'd be humiliated. And I know the Rangers things have done some loser stuff in the 70s too. Best thing to do, own it. Don't defend it. How could you be upset about that guy getting a 5-minute major? You could have killed that guy. Those bracelets you threw on the ice, they're white. They're white.
Oh, yeah.
You could sweep all those up. You could sweep all of those up and still miss one, and somebody gets killed.
Someone can break an ankle.
Break an ankle. Claude Giroux's career over. Braden Holtby's career over. Because you're mad. I'm mad. I'm going to throw things. How much you want to bet there was guys my age and older throwing those goddamn things? How much you want to bet?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Because nobody can afford those fucking tickets anymore. So it's probably guys that have jobs. Guys that have wives. Yeah, you start doing what they do over here in Europe. You do something like that, you never go to a game again. Again. And they have face recognition software. So if you try to go anywhere in the NHL, you can't go to a hockey game. You can't handle it. I could take a fucking group of 15-year-old boys. I guarantee you they wouldn't do that. It's just disgusting, and it makes me want to fucking vomit.
Yeah, and while I was watching it on TV, you could see a few falling on the ice. But when I watched it on YouTube, there was a guy filming it in the crowd. It was really snowing wristbands. So much wristbands.
So a lot of those guys are season tickets holders, is what we're saying. Because if
Probably,
it was snowing, that means they were close to the damn ice. Most of the stuff is... so we're talking about corporate fucking loser, asshole, yuppie jerk-offs that got the tickets. They're probably not that big of fans to begin with that think this shit's okay. And season ticket holders. Because I got news for you. I'm sure they couldn't throw that from the top row. So we're talking about mostly rich people.
Or maybe just people who aren't fans of wristbands.
Yeah. Somebody said there was a rock tied to one of them? Or some shit like that? Like, or they were tied to a rock on your seat? And I like how the Flyers put in there, like, well, please don't throw these in the ice. Well, how's that going to help? Know your fan base. Losers. Even the ones that can afford tickets. Losers. The Flyer fans, there's a bulk of Flyer fans that are losers, and they deserve what they get. Scumbags. Now, you wouldn't say this for your Rangers. You're damn right I would. I was just saying last week. I was like, you know, because somebody was jumping on me because of the shit I said about the Buffalo Sabres, which was well-deserved as well. And I have jackasses defending cheering goals against in overtime from 2015 last year. Get it in the ass. You jerk-offs, scumbags. Oh, here we go. As Flyer fans, I'm proud of what the fans said. Shows their displeasure with the team in the moment. Yeah, good job. Yeah. Now maybe Claude Giroux will lose his career. And you know what? Spoken like a true loser, Chris. You're a stone loser. You're a loser in life. Any Flyer fan wants to call and defend this, I will use you as fodder. I will embarrass the ever-living shit out of you. Unless, of course, you're trolling me, and then that's funny. Jerk off. What's on your mind, Matt?
Nothing really going on. I went to see The Jungle Book.
How old are you? I'll take my daughter to see that.
Actually, I got really scared.
What? How old are you?
It's a
movie.
Complicated story. Because I was going with my friend and his girlfriend and another guy.
I would have blew you up if this was another show. You know.
I know. And the other guy dropped out, so I was being a third wheel, so I just got really drunk. And there's a scene where the tiger jumps up at you.
Yeah.
And my friend, because I can't remember what happened, my friend told me I screamed so loud. Everyone turned around. They weren't scared of the tiger. They were scared of my scream. And if the movie's in 3D, I probably would have shit my pants.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You start doing acid. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, an acid trip, not drunk. Dude, hockey fan bases are the worst. Legit Canadians do their gay shit. Flyers pull the shit Bruins fans. Yeah, they all do. I'm not going to say they don't. I don't know if we're the worst. I like to think I was wrong. And I'm not talking about Flyer fans as much as I'm talking about the Flyer fans that did this. I'm not going to even go as far as to say, most of them are something like that are losers. But some of them are, and I think it should be pointed out. This is embarrassing. I'm glad they're losing. I'm glad. I tell you something. I didn't have a lot of faith in the Capitals. But let's talk about the loser Flyers. Steve Mason proving once and fucking for all that he is a serviceable backup at fucking best. Claude Giroux choking in the playoffs and not producing once again. The only guy I feel a little bit bad for is Wayne Simmons. But he is not the type of guy to be holding your team up. That's how much you suck. Belmar, 10 games at least next season. How about that? Terry's from our stream. She's in charge.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing if you're a Flyers fan.
Yeah, and I don't think Pat'll give me any shit. I have friends that are Flyer fans. They know I'm not talking about them, and if you do, we're gonna have a problem. I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, well, I'm just talking about like how the team's playing in general. I'd be disappointed about the team.
I have no idea how common shit like this happens. I'm just hoping the Philly band, hopping on the Philly bandwagon because we haven't had a playoff team in years. Well, it's not that common. Fucking Canucks are losers too. Yeah, every fan base has their losers. All right, I want to talk about hockey. Fuck those Flyers. I'm done. I wasted way too much time with it, and I'm just thoroughly fucking aggravated.
Did you watch the game though?
No, I decided to watch. I had three choices. I knew that I had a feeling this was going to happen. I decided to watch Ducks I watched L.A.
Okay.
I watched Los Angeles, San Jose, and I wasn't really. It was a pretty defensive game, but I was still reasonably entertained because there was a lot of tension. It was a well played game.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy that. I like the idea of or at least I entertained the idea that they would go up 3-0 again, the Sharks. But I'm actually kind of glad they didn't. I do want the Sharks to win. I'm glad they didn't because the ghost of dropping 4 in a row only 2 years ago would be there. So I think it's better that Sharks lost. And Tanner Pearson got the goal. Just so it's a different scenario altogether.
Yeah. Well, this is where those jackoffs who said that the NHL needs more goals, this is where they're wrong because I was watching Game 1 against the Game 1 of St. Louis and Chicago, and it was kind of like this game. I was on the edge of my seat constantly because I knew if a bounce goes either way, the game's going to be screwed. So I was constantly on the edge of my seat. You don't necessarily need goals for that.
No, you don't. Goals aren't going to solve the NHL's problem. The NHL's problem, as far as marketing the game, is probably beyond. First of all, they don't have people that know how to do it, and they're just not good marketers in general. But here's the biggest problem with hockey. It's Canadian. There are too many people with last names that North Americans cannot identify with. In some ways, it's sort of kind of a deep-seated prejudice. Mm-hmm. I think it's a prejudice. It's not like a conscious, like, I hate hockey. People want to see people that look like them. When you're mostly white and there's not a lot of Hispanics, there's not a lot of black, it doesn't look like America. People want to see themselves, And Canadians do see themselves. And I don't think that's something to be overcome because Canada's always going to produce the most hockey players because it is their passion. That is the biggest thing the NHL has to overcome. And they can't just fix it so they have guys with less, more common last names. We can't call Ansi Kopitar Ansi Cope, which probably would be better. What do you want, Boston head?
I just wanted to say that LA Kings game.
Yeah.
I still don't think the Kings can pull the series out if they still play like this. They got lucky. They held it off into overtime.
The play really slowed down in the second period. Both teams were playing very, very well defensively. The OT could have gone either. It was quick, but it could have gone either way. I tend to agree with you. I like the way the Sharks controlled the puck. I love the way Pavelski and Thornton are just flying out there. I love the God.
And they're not young either.
What's that? No,
they're not young.
Well, Burns isn't even all that young. He's been in the league 10 years. And I love his release. I do think they can pull this out. especially if you know what they need. It's the same thing the Rangers said. They need Marigan Gaborik to score.
Yeah.
That team is going to fall or succeed basically on Marigan Gaborik's shoulders. They need it's sort of like a Rick Nash situation. Your goal scorers have to score. I honestly think the Flyers could have taken a game off the Capitals had Simmons and Drew scored. You know?
Yeah.
So
And if they didn't blow that lead yesterday.
Yeah. But it was
that
a good
was
game.
Pretty funny.
It's a good game. I enjoyed the hockey game. I think it's better they didn't go up 3-0 just for psychological reasons.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's going to be bringing that shit up. And God help them if they went up 3-0 and lost game 4. God
Oh, my
help
God.
them.
That would have
So
been
it's better,
hilarious.
it's better it happened now. I bet Daryl Sutter's thinking of that right now.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good series. It's a solid series. There's very few bad series. All right?
There's not a lot of easy series. Probably the easiest series would have to be the Washington and Philadelphia game, or either the Stars,
but they lost last
Wild
night.
game.
They lost.
They
last
did
night.
lose.
They let the game get
but
away from them.
I still don't. The way I saw it out of the game, because I was watching
Minnesota's
that one.
not winning that series.
Yeah, and
Minnesota's
the
not
Stars
winning that
weren't
series.
playing like
Good
they
effort.
used to.
Here's another thing I noticed about that series. I don't mind any look. The Flyers are fucking terrible. All right, it's not even all their fault. There's just not that much talent on the team. They have no chance.
You
They're
want to
back
know
the
why they
playoffs.
beat out Boston?
Minnesota on the end. No, I want to talk. It's because it's my show. All right.
Go ahead.
Minnesota, I think, played hard in all 3 of those games. And I think maybe, I don't know for sure, Dallas may have let their guard down a little bit. But they really controlled most of the game anyway. So I like the way, I just think it's a similar thing. They don't have the talent, or there's something wrong with that team.
If Parise was playing, I would think the series would be closer, but I think that was the only win that the Wild can get this series.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right.
But don't you think the Flyers are better than it's actually showing right now? Because remember, before the playoffs started, everyone was like, this team's plucky, they're gritty, blah, 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 blah. And
They are.
I said Washington in 7.
They are all those things, just not now. And it's too late now. It's over now.
They lost 6
They
to
weren't
1
when they
yesterday.
needed to be. They were. They are plucky. They are great.
Because imagine if Giroux was playing 100 at his best and Simmons was playing at his
Well, that's
best.
a different story.
I would have bet anything, but those guys can't score. Marigan Gaborik can't score. They can. Your top scorers can't score. You lose. Period. Rick Nash, all of them.
Don Cherry said, and I quote, Simmons should sit on Brendan Holtby's head.
That's odd.
The keys to success for Don Cherry's is for Simmons to face sit Brendan Holtby.
Yeah, right. Because that's the only way they win if Holtby has a fucking brain aneurysm. That's the only way to win. Get out of here, Kevin. Talk to you later. Good call. It's the only way you can win. Because Holtby's a beast. And I tell you something about Brendan Holtby. I've seen him since he was a rookie in 2012. The thing that's the most frightening thing about Brendan Holtby, he doesn't. You see a guy like Jonathan Quick, who's a great goalie, and he shows a lot of emotion on the ice, or even Brodeur at times, and Ron Hextall, all great goalies, all going to the Hall of Fame. Braden Holtby is stone cold, not in a scary way, but scary because nothing seems to bother him. I've seen that guy give up lousy goals. Every guy does. And it just doesn't seem to affect him.
Yeah. Well, when he was a rookie, Cherry compared him to Price. So that's how good he is.
Martin.
What's up, Tommy? What's up, Matt? I want to say I'm absolutely disgusted with the Flyers fans right now. Not that I already didn't like the Flyers, because I fucking hate them, but this gives me a valid reason to hate them more because of their fans.
Well, they absolutely deserve this, 100%.
I hope they get fucking swept right out of fucking Philadelphia.
I hope they get a curse. Curse you. Curse you. Teams like this deserve a curse.
Yeah.
You know,
and,
it is also an amazing picture of Alexander Ovechkin and Wayne Simmons just going, what the fuck? You know? But what were you going to say? What was your call?
Also, I would watch the Stars game. I saw them go up 2-0 in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, I don't need to watch this. It's all going to turn into a snuff game. I turned my TV on.
Minnesota was mentally in all these games. They're just getting outplayed by a better team. So I think that's what happened. They're like, okay, it's over, and Minnesota didn't get the memo. So they want to keep playing. They want to drag this out as long as possible, and that's a sign of a good hockey team with a lot of heart. And I respect that. They're not getting by this round.
Yeah, I like the Wild. I like them, but just not.
I know you do.
I'm like a huge Dallas Stars fan. I respect Minnesota for what they've done in the season, and they deserve a spot to be in the playoffs like they do, but they just ran into some bad luck.
They're fighters.
They're playing.
They're fighters. I question the I don't know if that team has the right chemistry, so to speak. The Parise Sutter thing, it never really quite worked out. Might be thinking about dealing one of those guys. I like what the coach did. He picked up the ball after Mike Yeo kind of dropped it. That says a lot about the team, that they responded to the coaching change, and because really it was on them. Mike Yeo, I think Mike Yeo, he's probably going to get a job in a couple weeks. I think he was a good coach. I just think that, but the players responded to him dismissal as if it was their fault, and it was. So Minnesota, good luck to you next year. They did make the playoffs 2 years in a row, but there might be some chemistry issues. There's something going on there that we don't know about. And here's another situation where Vanek, was he a healthy scratch again last night, Vanek?
I know he wasn't playing, but I don't know if it was a healthy
exactly.
scratch.
They paid a guy. They need goals from him. He's not even playing because he sucks. And he's inconsistent, and he's a head case, and he's got a gambling problem from what I understand, and all that other shit. That's why he bounced. Look, Vanek is one of the more talented players in the NHL. He is really one of the more talented players in the NHL. But he can't get his fucking act together. And that's why he's bounced around. It's like you look at this guy like, wow, man, he could be a real weapon. And then he's got a million other things going on. So, sorry. Nino Ryder is not going to carry you into the playoffs. Good guy, not going to carry you in the playoffs. All right, I got to go. Take care, bud.
All right, take care, man.
Peace. Good call. That's the way I feel about that. I'll still take calls. I'm on a roll. 718-395-7660. 718-395-7660. Or add us to contacts Huffman Point. I know I kind of clicked. I wanted to take Germ because I wanted to be fair. But I clicked on the wrong thing. So, Germ, if you can get back in there. Alex on a Bayern. You're a Bayern fan? Bayern Munich? So it's not helping.
You mean Bayern Munich?
Bayern Munich. Munich.
Oh.
Bayern Munich. That's how you say Munich in German. Germany!
Hello.
What do you got for us?
Man, I don't want to talk about the fans of Philadelphia. I didn't watch that, and you're right, and all the way, and that's it. But the game was, I watched the Flyers, and they remind me the Canadians. Simple as that. I mean, their power play is so wrong, so bad, so. It seems there is no coach, no systems, no, that's what I thought when I watched the game.
I wouldn't go far. You talk about Philadelphia, they're not being a coach in Philadelphia, or?
Yeah, in Philadelphia. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like what Hacksaw's done. That team sucks. It's not his fault. I mean, look.
Yeah.
If you're gonna build a house and the fucking hammer I handed you to make that it's supposed to put the nails in the wood falls off half the fucking time, you're gonna have trouble building that goddamn house. And that's what I think is Philadelphia. There's some of the tools
you talk
work.
About the curse.
Yeah.
You talk about the curse. You know that when the curse appear, when they give us Forsberg for Lindros.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did. Well, you guys went on to win a cup, sort of.
Yeah. Well,
here's the greatest thing about the Lindros deals. If I can rub it in Philadelphia fans' face more, everybody that was involved with the Lindros deal, the New York Rangers, right? The backdoor Deeks won Stanley Cups. Ha!
Here we go. That's it. So the curse is not over.
And by the way, I'm not jumping on the Flyers players. I generally like the guys on this team. I am criticizing the fans that threw the shit in the ice that could have got somebody killed.
And it's not all fans.
And you know what? Here's another thing, too. A lot of people, I had to deal with this shit when I was a kid. And I don't think you guys have to deal with this much in Canada. There's especially because everything where I'm from is like football, baseball, the pure sports. There's always like this thing like hockey fans are losers and lowlifes.
The pure sports.
Yeah, the pure sports like basketball and stuff. So this thing like, I'm into hockey. It's like you're like a weirdo and a loser and a lowlife. That shit helps. When the Canucks fucking tear down the goddamn every time they lose those big sissies over in fucking Western Canada, it makes us look like shit. I was talking to Pat today. He feels like shit. Losers.
I'm sure about that.
It makes us, especially American hockey fans, look like shit. And I don't like it. I don't like looking like shit. I don't like being lumped in with losers. And I'm sure Flyer fans, real Flyer fans, well, I don't say real Flyer. I'm sure they're real Flyer fans. They're real assholes. I'm sure people that find that fucking disgusting, don't like it either. So Flyer fans, don't be mad at me. Do what I'm doing. Call them out. Oh, you can't say that because so-and-so, because the Montreal Canadian fans did this once and Mike Miller beat somebody with a shoe. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It makes us all look bad. Like a bunch of fucking lowlifes. And I don't like looking like a lowlife. All right, Jerem. I'm actually getting bombed with calls.
All right.
All right, brother. Take care.
Bye.
Enjoy the playoffs. Sean Bonner, Philadelphia fan. What's on your mind, brother?
Tom, you're taking it out on the wrong people.
No, I'm not. I'm picking directly on the people who did this, not on Flyers fans.
And the people that did this are fair weather fans. They're
You're
not
probably
the
right.
diehard Flyers fans.
I don't know if you heard the whole thing, Sean, but I said most of the people that look, if you're going to throw a bracelet, which is really light, you got to be close to the ice. Okay, who's close to the ice? Season ticket holders and guys that got tickets that were like from a corporation that think this shit's fucking cool. All right, that's not you. You can't afford center ice, can you? On the ground level,
but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's not even fun anyway, because most of them are. I can buy that most of them are fair weather fans, but I got to be honest with you. This is not new to Philadelphia. Stuff like this. This goes back before I was even born. Stuff like this does happen. Is that fair?
That's fair. Because I said to my friend last night, I was like, dude, I'm totally embarrassed. I was like, that stuff that happened with the Florida Panthers at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, take it to Philly to one-up them and show, show the country and show the world that the stereotype about Philly fans, there's some substance to it.
Yeah. There's some say, and look, it's a stereotype. I said this even before this just happened. I said this, when I was, I forget what this is. It was like, Flyer fans take a lot of shit for what stiff that individual does. And you might be right. It might be fair weather guys that just got tickets that night and got drunk and decided to do this. A lot of people did it. And they deserve the stereotype. But I will say this, in fairness to the Flyer fans have been some of the nicest people and most helpful in supporting the show. Very, very good, decent. So it's certainly not all of them. But the stereotype of being a loser does fit this particular situation. And it fits hockey. And my thing is, it fits all of us needs. Don't you feel like all right, you and me grew up fucking 2 hours apart. Don't you feel like this is kind of a slap? I had to put up in the Army with oh, you're from the East Coast. You're fucking, you're like a shifty dude. You're like a criminal, a smooth talker, a city guy. I don't like that. And I
don't like that either.
When people say that, I'm a moral. I address people as except on here, but like what? Look, when I'm not streaming and trying to entertain people and stuff, it's ma'am, sir, opening the door for people, treating people with respect. That's the way I carry myself when I'm not fucking around with my friends online. And I don't like when I go down south and when as soon as I open my mouth, people just assume that I'm rude and I can't help it. I don't like that shit. And stuff like this makes me look bad. It makes me look bad as a hockey fan. It makes me look bad as somebody from the East Coast. That's the way I feel about it. And that's why I'm emotional about it. And that's why I'm upset. And Sean, the best thing to do is, I'm not picking on the wrong people. I'm picking on the right people. And the best thing to do is for Flyer fans to stand up and say, fuck off. And
actually, the local radio today, the host is saying, I just want one person that threw a bracelet on the ice to call up. Yeah. He's like, and I won't berate you. I won't yell at you. I want to know what kind of person you are to do that.
Good for him. Good
you
for
know,
him.
And I don't know if anyone called, but I doubt, because the same people that do this, they're all pussies. They all hide behind.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
it's cowardly.
it's a cowardly thing to do, and
Yeah.
it totally Ed Snyder would not have. He'd be embarrassed.
You'd be ashamed. This goes up there with this is memorable, and that's the sad part because like if it's just one night where the Hot Flyer fans got alive, you're a fucking owner. You know who thought hockey would have worked in Philadelphia? Well, Ed Schneider did, and I guarantee you, people told him you're gonna lose your shirt. Well, he brought you hockey, and I said this yesterday that the Flyers are a part of the working class. It's just tethered in an area that's not traditionally a hockey area. The Flyers are so much a part of the culture and the history of that town. And you just pissed it all away. You just pissed on that whole legacy, you know? And I'm glad that guy called those out, you know? And I'm not saying it's all Flyer fans. I'm not. I never did. I opened with that. I'm not saying that. I don't want to lose my friends that are Flyer fans. But I think this needs to happen. We got to police our own to a lesser extent. And if I want you, if you did this, I want you to feel like a fucking jerk. Because you are.
Yeah, I mean, I was embarrassed. That's the only thing I embarrassed. Not the fact that we got our ass kicked. Embarrassed that people did this. You know, people that like I stand next to and cheer with and slap thighs with. They, you know, I could have been someone that did this. They said it was either 100 or 1,000. I think it was 1,000 bracelets were thrown on the ice. 1,000 of 40, 45, 46,000 in attendance.
Some of them were thrown by more than one. Probably some of them were born. Eric Lemon, Tommy C. I was at the Flyers game last night. I'm a diehard Flyers fan, but it was one of the most disrespectful things I've seen, and I didn't throw my bracelet. I know you didn't. Hey, you know what? We're calling out as NHL fans these people. That's what we're doing. That's a short. By the way, this is a really good call. And we should be embarrassed. We should call these people out. Because it makes our city look bad. It makes our game look bad. And it makes the East Coast look bad. And those things concern me. My game, the part of the country I'm from, and, you know, the fans that I dig. I mean, look, this is all like, my whole thing I'm doing here is about hockey fans. And we act like jerks here. We act like douchebags and stuff like that. But it doesn't come to that level, and that shit ain't cool. It just fucking ain't cool. All right, man, I'm getting bombed with calls, dude. I gotta move.
The part that burned me the most, though, is when the announcer came on and said, please do not throw anything on the ice. If there's one more thrown on the ice, there'll be a penalty called against the Flyers.
Yeah, and they did it anyway.
The crowd started cheering.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you. I had to take another call. Really good call, dude. I think you did the right thing. Call them out. And I'm not picking on you, and I think you know that, brother.
Yeah, I know.
All right, bro. Take care. 702, you're on the air.
Hey, Tommy, what's up, man?
What's up? Who's this?
No, I'm new to hockey. I don't really watch that much. I don't really understand it. Okay. However, you got me into it, and since it's the playoffs, all my friends always tell me the hockey playoffs are better than any other playoff sports. I've been watching these playoffs, and I know you're a Rangers fan.
Okay.
And you said a couple days ago that you think it's only going to go 5 games. Have you changed your opinion now?
No, because I don't want to look stupid.
Do you really think they're going to get blown out the next 3 games?
Let me give you an update on what predictions are. Okay. You know, look, I give my best judgment with the little that I know and most honest. I think I think the key with Philadelphia is to get on the captain's nerve and put them in a situation. If it's smooth sailing for the Flyers, they're going to run the Rangers over. They have too much firepower, especially with Evgeny Malkin coming back. He's only going to get better as time goes on. All right. But if the Rangers can agitate or put up a goal or score first, which is really important tonight, and make it difficult, this team traditionally blows up in the playoffs. So it really comes down to whether they can do that or not. If the Rangers can do that, if they can get under Crosby's skin, if they can make the ride bumpy, they'll win. If they let them skate around the ice, they're too goddamn good. So it really comes down to limiting shots, winning faceoffs, and getting on the other team's nerves carefully where it doesn't end you in the penalty box. But you know, I'm glad I got you into it, dude.
I hope you guys win, because that Sidney Crosby guy's a little bitch.
He is a little bitch. Welcome to the sport.
He doesn't fight. I watched a couple of his, like, mic'd up things. He's like, I don't fight, man. I don't fight. He's like, I don't do that. He's a little craphead, so I hope you guys crap on him tonight. You gonna be doing the reaction thing you did last time?
I'll be talking about that later. We are doing a reaction video tonight. I hope you guys hang out. I bought a big bag of German Doritos, and I'm gonna eat that.
Oh my God!
Because I'm still recovering.
Got Hitler on them?
From the on the chick. Just get the hell out of here! How dare you say it? What's your name? What the hell's your name?
Alex, bro.
Alex. All right, Alex, the Hitler guy. You jerk. My wife would be mad at you, by the way. All right. Get out.
I'll be watching, man. Have a good one.
Take care. I gotta keep taking these calls, buddy. I don't mean to
go right ahead.
Yeah, I gotta keep going. They're calling in. They want to talk. It's about the fans, bro. So John Clush. I know you called me before. What's on your mind? John?
Hey, Tommy. What's up?
What's happening? Try to make it just one statement, question, whatever, because I do want to move it along and put everybody on.
How do you think the game's going to go tonight? Penguins, Rangers.
Did you just hear what I said? I'm not being obnoxious. I just all right. Here's what I think. If the if the Penguins are able to skate around, take the momentum, and are able to take the chance, because they seem to take a lot of chances in the neutral zone. They don't actually just cover it all the time. You'll see Sidney actually go all the way up to the red line and beyond to look for the long pass. If they were able to do that, they're going to win this hockey game. I think that what the Rangers need to do is what has beaten the Flyers basically since they lost, ever since they won the Stanley Cup. They got to get under the captain's skin, and they got to make it difficult. The Flyers do not, or the Penguins do not respond well to resistance. They tend to collapse when the calls don't go their way and things aren't going their way. And you saw that last night. Everything they were flying around, they looked like they took it to the Rangers, and then the Rangers went up by a goal, and then they let another goal in, and they were quiet the rest of the game. The Penguins certainly can beat the New York Rangers. They have the firepower. It's a matter of getting under their skin and giving them resistance. And I think it was. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's. I think with Malkin and Mata coming back into the picture, that slowed them down a ton because they don't know how to juggle the lines.
I keep hearing that.
There's so much talent there, but they don't know how to work it in their way.
Do you believe that Sidney Crosby coaches and sets the lines in this team like a lot of?
I don't believe that. No,
you don't believe that?
Not one bit.
Okay, I wonder sometimes because the lack of personality that's always on that bench. You know, I just don't. I've never seen a coach with a lot of personality. I've heard the rumors. It's probably a conspiracy theory, but I wonder about that because so much rides on his mood. You know, historically, you know, he gets pissed off. I never forget that moment when he was mouthing off to Chara, and it changed the momentum of the series, and that was all it. You know, they were still in it at that point, and it was just over after that. So that's it. Get on. Honestly. If there's a guy on the team that Sidney doesn't like, personally, and he can hold him a little bit, play a little D, I would get under his skin. And that being said, I think the Pens have to take it to the Rangers, use their offensive weapons. If Phil Kessel plays that away again, the Rangers might be in trouble. Phil Kessel had a great game. Don't forget that.
Yeah, he's had 24 points in 24 playoff games.
He is dangerous as hell. So if Kessel can do that, but here's the thing: if it ends up being a tie or you go down 2-1, you have to respond. And if you respond and you don't let it bother you and you don't get it under mentally, you will win the hockey game. You think that's a fair one from a Ranger fan? All right, buddy.
All right, Tommy, I'll let you go.
All right, bro. Take care, John. Chris Warren, you're on the air. Paul Heyman.
Hey,
what's up?
What's going on, Tommy? How are you, man?
What's up? What's on your mind, man?
I just want to start off. I don't want to start any controversial thing or whatever. I want to start off by saying I'm a Flyers fan, and I didn't hear. Well, I'm not really a Flyers fan. I hopped on the bandwagon really, but
okay, fair enough. Be honest.
I didn't really hear about the wristband thing until I started watching your show today.
Okay, fair enough. You new to hockey?
Yeah. I want to get into it, to be honest, but it's kind of hard because the team I support is a little inconsistent and albeit a little bad. But
I know the feeling.
Go ahead, keep going, Chris.
But I thought I didn't really think it was that big of a deal until I found out that the wristbands were in support of Ed Schneider because I was aware that he had passed away before the series started. But honestly, I really don't understand why the Flyer fans were mad. Why the fans at the stadium were mad in the first place. I mean, like, we are the 8th seed, and the Capitals are the best team in the league for a reason. I mean, I think we'll snag maybe the next game, maybe if we're lucky. But honestly, like, I don't know why everyone had high hopes as to think we were going to win the series because the Capitals were just too good.
You're thinking very sensibly. Like I said, most of the Flyer fans, every one of the Flyer fans that I know that has something to do with our community is completely sensible. Most of them were just ecstatic they were even in there and hoped that they could do their best against a superior hockey team. A superior hockey team, the one that probably has the best chance of winning the Stanley Cup in the Eastern Conference going into this. So I think it's just alcohol, and if you develop a culture of kind of acting up at Philadelphia sports events, you pour that alcohol, you have a bad situation on the ice, things don't go your way, people start acting like assholes. I think Sean's right. I think this is fair weather fans. I do. This is not every Flyer fan. There's millions of Flyer fans around the country. Right? But the guys that got the tickets, which are, by the way, just because you get good tickets doesn't mean you're even a sports fan. I've seen, how many people do you know in the chat that get these, like, I got Super Bowl tickets. Do you even like football? No, but I'm going to the Super Bowl. How many people you know like that in your life? Right? So, and the other thing that I'm going to comment on, you're just getting into this and you're a little disappointed right now. This is the best time to get involved with hockey and support the Flyers. First of all, that wasn't me. That's bullshit. Solves your fucking I'm a scumbag problem. Third of all, if you grow with the team as they lose, and there are a lot of pieces in this hockey team that could develop into something over the coming years. Your top scorer is very young. Still, he has a shit ton of talent. You have a guy, Rathko Gudas, could really be the personality of the blue line going forward for the Philadelphia Flyers. You have a lot of heart in Wayne Simmons. There's a lot of good things. If you watch them lose, it's going to be orgasmic when you are a part of the win. That may be a decade from now. But you are going to watch the growth and you're going to feel the history, and that's the best part. Don't be turned off by what these fans did, right? Just do what I did. Do what Sean did. Do what Pat's done. Fuck those guys. That's not us. And it probably isn't. But I think you need to lose. Because to be honest with you, I really think a lot of these Chicago Blackhawk fans, not all of them, that have just come into their team and all they've ever known is winning, well, they're going to be in last place one day, and it's not going to be as fun. So let's say the Flyers become the next dynasty in hockey. You're going to have both ends, and when they start to suck again, you're still going to enjoy the game. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, as a Philly fan, we're kind of used to losing by now, but for the short time I've been watching hockey, I've had to experience a couple tough losses, to Pittsburgh and Detroit and Washington even. But when we beat the Penguins 3-1 a couple weeks ago, like, sure, Crosby and Fleury were out, but still, I was screaming, when we won. It was a great feeling.
This day will pass, and you will enjoy Flyers hockey. I think there's some keys here. Ask Pat to watch his podcast. There are some pieces in this team, and there's a very good future for this Flyers team. Very, very good future for this Flyers team. So don't give up just because of a couple of assholes. You know what I mean? And one thing that you didn't know, because I'm assuming you didn't grow up skating, one thing that you didn't know, if your skate hits something in the ice that's not ice, you can actually trip, fall, and break your neck, lose your career. And that is what the hell, Jeff Huffman? Holy Christmas! All right, Chris, I'll talk to you later. I got one of my millennial dopes on the other
Thanks for taking my call, man.
Talk to you later, brother. Hey, call anytime. What the hell? Where are you? In a blow dryer?
No, that'd be a fan in my living room.
Well, that doesn't. I know what I'll do. I'll call Tommy, and I'll sit right next to this fan in the living room. What's on your mind?
That doesn't sound like a fan. That sounds like the Hadron Collider.
It's fucking. He's a drone He's a drone racing practice. Come on, tell me what you got.
No, I just wanted to say something quick on the Flyers thing. I thought that whole incident was absolutely sickening. Other than the part in the Flyers PA announcer, that was pretty funny.
What was that?
I did it. Oh, you didn't see that?
No, I didn't watch the game because I knew it was going to get.
I put it in the Facebook chat.
Ah, shit! What did I miss? I got something.
Well, no, the PA announcer goes, after they're throwing bracelets on the ice, he goes, to the fans throwing bracelets on the ice, now you've done it. The Flyers get a 2-minute penalty for delay of game.
And they didn't care. They cheered. I didn't hear that.
Time it's whatever the time was. And then there's about a pause for like 5 seconds, and then he goes, way to go.
Yeah. Did he really? He said, way to go? He's pissed, too. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I had a I can hear my own voice. It's redonkulous. All right, I have to let you go because I can hear my own voice. It's making me crazy. But good call, bro.
Okay.
All right, thank you. I want to see if other people get through. I can't stand hearing my own voice, but it's not his fault. It's probably coming through his phone. All right, some guy named Mike Brown, he came in here and he said that, the reason the Flyers lost is because everybody's racist and they don't like hockey fans. The refs come out for him. Well, I thought he was just trolling me to bust my balls and I was laughing. Well, maybe I'm wrong because he made this video. The NHL hates the Flyers. And with the 47 views it has, you can see it's being well received. But it's definitely worth listening to. Here it is.
The NHL is a fucking joke. All the officials hate the Flyers and do what they can to fuck us. Can the NHL hire some competent officials? These refs are giving the Caps
Well, they got that hit from Belmar.
Momentum with
they got that one right on.
horrible
Good job.
calls.
Do that. I want to hear that again.
The Caps momentum with horrible calls.
Ooh.
How about taking the power plays out of hockey, since the officials are dictating who wins the game with these bogus calls? Kill the officials, they are against the Flyers. Kill them. The officials are ISIS members.
That one right on. Good job. Oh, I can hear my fucking voice. Near another
No,
one.
you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah. It was funny. What do you want, Suron?
That guy, whoever made that video, probably has Down syndrome.
I don't know.
Because I don't know if you've watched Capitals playoff hockey, bud, but especially last year in the Islanders, the calls were horrible, horrendous. And I remember the game one, you were talking about 3 power plays in the first period. Yeah. Right after that, those 3 power plays, right, that were surrendered, they missed a call where there was literally a slash stick and then holding the stick. And on top of that, they could have called a bunch more infractions this game with the Flyers. I recalled 3 moments when they were holding sticks. It's like, can't you hold something else? Why do you have to hold the guy's stick? Hold his neck or some shit like that, Come on.
You're freaking me out.
Sorry, I speak too
You're
fast.
almost as bad as this guy.
The Flyers. Kill them.
I want to play a game.
I must be real bad then. Holy shit.
No,
that's scary. I'm good. I'll go check the psychiatrist.
No, relax. Suron, shut up and listen.
I'm messing with you.
You talk too fast sometimes. You're a smart kid.
Yeah.
You're a rich, smart kid that goes skiing. I like you. You talk too fast. Do you have your Ritalin today or?
No. When I was, the thing is, Russian people tend to speak real fast. I don't know. I was watching a thing, and they say smart people talk real fast normally. So correlation.
Yeah, well, I could talk really fast.
Do you know what's Sirion's real name?
What, Siron, is that your real name or is that just your gamer name?
He wrote in the chat the other day.
It's his real name. Your real name's Siron?
No, what drugs?
Else.
I don't know. I'm asking.
Antoine Renard.
You don't have to tell me your name.
I gave out my last name.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, my name was chosen Antoine because it's both Russian and really French.
That's what we did with my daughter. It's Laura works with English.
Well, the thing is, my parents aren't freaking commies that should be in ovens, all right? They wouldn't call me Saron, all right?
I don't know. What does Saron mean? What does that mean?
It's not Saron, it's Syrian. I was at the beach and I read this sign. It's like, oh, it's pretty cool. And then
commies that should be in ovens? Commies throw people in ovens. What are you talking about?
What?
I don't know. What do you say? They're not commies that should be in ovens. Who made that assertion anyway? Most kids today don't even know who the commies are.
Wait. I wanted to throw this in. I don't know if you care, but I found the Bernie Sanders Maryland election things. I'm from Maryland, so I'm probably gonna go take a bunch of chalk to it later and say Trump 2016, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
just piss with them. I took a peek in the window. I just saw all these degenerates. It was pretty funny.
It's just good to do it just to piss them off and throw them in a tizzy.
Especially with the shit of local news.
I gotta be honest
probably
with
make
you.
it.
I don't think he's gonna make such a great president if he does get it, but I think they're gonna screw him, and they're definitely gonna screw Bernie too, because you have no voice.
Bernie is better than Hillary, though. I mean, Hillary.
No, she's not. No, he's not. He's nowhere. Near. He's actually kind of.
That's true.
That's like comparing.
He's a good person, but he's crazy with his economics.
Yeah, Bernie's probably a good guy, but he's believes in a religious ideology, which is socialism. Yes, I think it's a religious ideology.
How could you be so crazy to believe that socialism works when you're 17 trillion in debt?
I know.
Like, it's a fucking... You're not Adolf Hitler, Bernie. It's not going to work.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They always think, like, because when I was a kid, when you weren't born, what they used to, what people, the social justice types, the commies, the American commies, they used to say, they used to look over the Russia and goes, well, that's not true socialism. But you know what? It's never true socialism because it never fucking works.
Oh, yeah, human nature, yeah.
Yeah, and they was like,
well, the thing is,
look at
Russian
Denmark.
commies and Chinese commies, they're respectable people, They want to make a living. Unfortunately, they believe in communism, but American commies are just fat feminist walruses who want free shit from the government.
Well, I will say this.
No.
The old
Why
school
do these feminist walruses complain about abortions?
Let me tell you something.
If anyone, you have to only do missionary, because if they try riding you, you're going to be a pancake.
You're probably right. That's one good thing about the social justice warriors. They're total candy asses. If you go back to American communists, like the Rosenblums, the Rosenthal, the Rosenbaums, the ones that gave the bomb secrets, like the people that were part of the communist parties in 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they weren't pussies. They'd fucking go to the electric chair and they wouldn't give anybody up. You think these blue-haired cunts fucking whatever, they'd sing like birds. They have no balls because they didn't grow up in a hard lifestyle. They'd sing like the bitches they are. And they're probably tougher than the fucking men, these fucking manly feminists that are begging them for sex to get in bed, which they usually fail at anyway.
Have more hair.
I was making a joke with...
I've got a better chance.
Their armpits too, don't forget that, Matt.
I got a better chance with a feminist than fucking these hipster douches that kiss their ass.
I made a joke with my friend and I said, if we were to, get rid of all the commies in our school, we'd probably be the only ones.
Yeah.
It's horrible, fucking hell.
Yeah. But Bernie's,
there's
I don't
more
think...
girls with short hair in my school than
all right, you go out, you trail up. You
hair.
drive me crazy. You trail it. You're all over the place. I love you, but you go all over the place. Stick to one thing. I was the same way when I was a kid. I used to drive everybody fucking crazy. Yeah. That's what she said. She's the same as my. Jesus Christ. Here's the thing with Bernie.
Sorry.
You know what's the worst thing about Bernie than his ideology? The fact that he never fucking had a real job. And I read a transcript when he was like 21, 22 years old. He thought he was above college. Everybody was just like stupid over there. The guy has lived off of government his entire life. So why can't you?
I'm surprised he knew what college was.
He's like, look at me. I've lived off government all my life. I've done great. I'm running for president. Why don't you try it? The problem is everybody can't do it. All right, talk to you later. Get the hell out of here.
All right, good day.
You racist cis male.
Antoine.
He actually has a hockey player's name.
Yeah.
Hitler, Trump, Bernie, Hillary, ISIS. That's the problem with Bernie. I don't dislike Bernie. He's just nuts. And not nuts like he's gonna fucking blow up a country, but nuts like, I don't know, the kind of like the president we have now. The economy's in the tailspin, and he's gonna tell you it's really not as bad as the media says it is. He's just trying to derail my presidency. No, nobody has a job. It sucks.
Bernie's an ass hair away from communism.
Yeah, he really is. And that's, socialism isn't communism. They give you all these things. Here's the dirty fucking truth. Liberals, social justice warriors, communists, socialists, or somewhere in between. All the ideology comes from just north of here in Trier, from the Communist Manifesto, from Karl Marx. So, you may not want to kill people because they disagree with you. I'm sure you, but you know what? Your ideology has the same root. So, whatever you saying you are, what was it? Somebody told me, some German guy in a punk rock concert I was at 10 years ago, he told me that he was an anarchist communist. I was like, it's an oxy-fucking-moron. You're going to be in control by not having any control? You fucking jerk off. All right, I had enough of this politics shit. Let's talk a little hockey before we get out of here. All right, what do you think about Malkin coming back? No more calls, by the way. We're done with the calls. Thanks for the call.
It can't be a bad thing, but Don Cherry and some people who think like him, they say you can't split up a winning combination, and that's why they lost.
Yeah, I wonder about that with bringing Steve Ott back. I mean, I don't know if that had a big impact, but you notice that Jeff Huffman was nervous about bringing Ott back and was certainly earned the spot. They won with Reeves. Another thing. Why didn't Philadelphia put in their backup goalie? I mean, they could. Detroit seemed to stop the bleeding. Why are they going Mason 3 in a row? Even if Mason, let's say he didn't give up that bomb of a goal.
Yeah.
Let's pretend. It sends a shot to the arm to the rest of the team.
I think they wanted to show confidence in one goalie.
It's no because they're up against the Capitals down 2-0. He doesn't need to. If his confidence doesn't suck now, before that, it really sucks now being down 3-0. You're probably right. It's too stupid not to be true. What's his name?
But had they put the other goalie and the other goalie screwed up too, then it'd be even worse.
Now everybody's fucked. Why? I don't understand that. You go back to Philip, put Neuwirth in. Even if look, I gotta be honest with you. Jimmy Howard did not play that bad. I don't think everything was his fault. But they put Mazarik or whatever the hell his Czech name is, and people, what? Did they give up 17 shots? It sends a shot to the team. They feel guilty that their guy is now in the backup, and sometimes they're a little protective of backups. So it's the least they could have done. You know, I've seen goalies get pulled when they didn't give up a bad goal. It just sends a shot to the arm.
Yeah.
Fire into your ass. Oh.
Unfortunately, there's not much they can do. The Capitals have the tools to win the Stanley Cup currently.
Yeah, it's not that good. Well, they did make a statement. I am backing off a little bit on my prediction, obviously. I thought that Philadelphia would at least take a game off them. I would have bet any amount of money. But
you said, mark my word, they're going to win game 2.
I thought they'd drag it out to 6. I'll be honest with you. They're not. I did not expect. I based it on 2 things. A, Giroux would turn it on. I should have mentioned Gostisbehere too. Giroux would turn it on, and he would score a couple few. I thought that Simmons would get up for this game, and Mason had been playing pretty well up until game 2. You know?
Yep.
So, you know, that didn't happen. But I tell you what, I mean, they really made a step in the right direction, the Caps. They really did. That's what you have to do in the first round. You humiliate the other team. They've got the tools to win the Stanley Cup. But it's not going to come to you. You're going to have to take it, and you're going to get in a situation when you have adversity, and you're going to have to respond to it, or going home. Mm-hmm. And traditionally, the Caps don't do that. Apparently, Braden Holtby had a big, scary collision in practice. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't.
No. You know what it is? He's so fucking good. He fucking picks his nose and blood comes out. Everybody's going to freak the fuck out. So anything's going to make a goddamn headline.
Brendan Holtby has the nicest beard in all of hockey.
In ever. It's like Carrie Fraser's hair.
Yeah, but on his face.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got nice hair.
Yeah. And I believe...
and he laughs at Emery every day.
I was just going to say that I believe Ray Emery pulled it while he was punching him in the face.
And it still stayed in place.
Yeah. It's a real one.
Yeah, it's real. Defend yourself. Why don't they put him in net? Anything would have been better than that. At least Emery in goal would have been funny. Maybe they should have just intimidate the shit out of Holtby. Maybe wouldn't intimidate him either. Anything would have been better. Mike Yeo interviews for Ottawa Senators coaching gig. That was a sideway movement. What do you think of that, Coach? You think it's his fault that they fell apart over there?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because I think they have a pretty solid defense, so it's kind of his fault if he can't make the team perform.
They got the goalie. I mean, they really have the pieces in place. I guess he just never get those. Man, players didn't like him. Well,
he did look like a piranha.
He did. Yayo. He's strange. Well, I didn't mind the guy, and he had his ups and his downs. He definitely deserved to get fired, but I wish him the best. I hope things work out. I don't know.
Minnesota's lucky because they get a lot of players like Vanek and Parisi that pull off a Stamkos and go back to their hometown.
Yeah. And they don't perform.
Yeah, that's why.
Parisi hasn't been the same player since he left New Jersey.
True.
Bottom line. He's not even a superstar anymore. Was he in the All-Star game? No, I don't think he was.
He was injured, though. Or his dad died, something like that.
Yeah. I think his dad died. Dad was a good hockey player. He wasn't as good as his son, but he's a damn good hockey player.
Yeah.
Wow.
Notorious for almost slashing a ref in the ass.
Did he? When the 70s?
It was like during some kind of Olympics. he got a penalty and he went up to the ref and did Schlag, but he stopped at the last second.
Oh, I seen that clip. Jesus,
Yeah.
what's the matter with him? Pure Pustinen, how could I end the show without you?
Matt Kassar just said the one reason why I absolutely fucking hate the Minnesota Wild.
What's that?
They built their team through free agency. They did something that Toronto Maple Leafs have been trying to do for the past 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
They got, in 1 year, they got top 3 in the league defenseman Ryan Suter, Zach Parise from the Devils, and then later on they have been just adding pieces like Pominville, Vanek, go on and on.
You know, let me ask you something, Mecca Matt. That's a really good point. Do you think maybe the free agents should be...
And they didn't... And the only reason they got him is because they're in fucking Minnesota.
Yeah,
That's it. It just appeared there. The team just appeared, and the guys got there.
I know you don't know shit about baseball, but I watch the New York Yankees do this shit. I watch the Mets do it. I mean, they have a lot of money. They're like in New York teams, and you go out and just grab a couple free agents, but there's no core. I remember the Yankees went out and they got Dave Winfield and Ricky Henderson, all these mega free agents, similar to the players we're talking about now, like Parise, and it just never clicked. And then they finally started losing. And then they got Derek Jeter, and then they got Bertie Williams, and a core was built, but it was built within the Yankees. And then, when they were going for World Series and going into the playoffs, they would put the one free agent on top, which would probably make the difference, a John Wetland, a Cecil Fielder. I really wonder if Pierre's onto something. You can't just go to free agency because you don't have a core of players, and you have a bunch of guys with a bunch of big egos that you just gave a lot of money to. That's a really good point, Pierre. I never even thought of it that way.
You said Parise when he was in New Jersey, he was much better. How many times do we see a free agent?
Yes, he was.
And he's not as good as he was before. It's rare that you see a free agent go to another team and he's even better.
Phil Kessel, he's went to Vancouver. He really wasn't much over there. Yeah,
you mean Toronto?
He wasn't that much in Toronto either.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he did get ball cancer. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's not cool. I'll make fun of him.
No, I'm serious.
I know he got,
but I
think
I just think that Parise and Suter got this. Okay, I'm set for life mode after that contract.
It's so I get that feeling, and that's always what you come up to. Look, these guys have a lot of money, and it's like, well, maybe they don't care anymore, and how could they not care? Because I would care if I was.
Parise will care, and Suter. I mean, these guys have been doing it for all of their lives. What do? It's like soldiers when they go to war, and when they're done. And then they kill themselves.
Yeah, but soldiers... Shut up. That's terrible. That's a terrible comparison. It's a fucking horrible thing to say. Jesus. And I think it's... You got to remember that... I'm not making an excuse. You get paid that kind of... You're a professional in anything you do. It doesn't even matter if you're playing hockey. You got to give it your all and all the time. But you know what?
I mean, come on. Have you seen how desperate Timo Solani has been after he's retired? He's doing like some TV shows with other retired sports people.
Is it funny?
In Finland. No, it's not funny. It's total garbage. But I mean, they don't have anything to do. They try something.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I give to the Steve Yzermans of the world, who get something to do after they have.
Yeah, but it's not easy. There's not a lot of jobs. I tell you, John Scott should take that damn job at TSN.
Yeah, he should. He's given a prime opportunity, and TSN would benefit a lot.
I think having a hometown guy like that. Here's another. I bet that's why Jaromir Jagr never retired. I mean, he was literally built in the communist system.
He has said it many times that he wants the time of him from playing hockey to his death to be the smallest of his life.
He's not happy. That's what that means. You know that? He's not happy. He's never been married. He doesn't have any children. I mean, he sacrificed it all for hockey. Now you're going to have him walk away from this? He grew up in that horrible communist system that basically picked him out and decided that he was going to be an athlete because he's so... And now he's only a few years older than me. Now it's like, okay, go off in the world, Jagr. Go off in the world and do something with yourself. He doesn't know what the fuck to do. He's smart enough to realize, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. It is hard. So
that's the thing.
It's hard for me to judge Suter and Parise. We will never have walked in their shoes. That being said, I'm paying their salary as a fan, so you're going to get criticism. That's the way I see it. Good call. Excellent. Maybe your best call ever. Who's the friggin' German?
You agreeing.
Yeah, do you agree with that, Mecca? Mecca?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that was a really good call. I was excellent. Well, you're a smart kid. Hey, who's the knucklehead on the Penguins that's from Germany? What's his name again?
Conacher? Konopkin?
Konopkin? I gotta get his. Somebody send him the proper spelling of his
name. Kunakl.
Kunakl.
Is it that?
He's a Kunakl head. Yeah,
I mean, a player. Why?
Yeah.
Player.
I don't know. I root for the German.
They
players.
have like. Have you noticed the Pittsburgh Penguins have had a lot of German players over the years, like Ehrhoff, Grace. Then there was that
Strom. I think they had Strom for a little while, right? No.
Sturm, yeah.
Strom. Marco Strom.
They had that guy. They had the guy with that funny name.
Who was that guy who played with all the teams with animal names?
They had a German guy last year. What the fuck was his name? You're right. He had a funny name. It wasn't exactly a German name, but it's Bowl or I forget. I don't know. Hey, you know what? I think I did too much show. I think I got to get the fuck out of here, guys.
Yes, I'm tired as fuck.
Oh yeah, I'm doing reaction show tonight too. I'm not even done.
Jesus.
Nah. Yeah, I gotta go warm up. Great call, Pierre. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks.
Peace. You made a really good call. You don't agree with him on much either, do you?
No.
But yeah, I don't know.
I agree with him on that.
You know, there is a human element. You know, I don't want to sit there and start feeling sorry for these guys, and I hate it because I don't want to get like goddamn Kevin Sousa over there, and like, you know, we can't treat these guys like trading cards. They have real feelings and friend. No, bullshit. I will say this: there is a human element, and I'm not excusing them acting like assholes, but none of us know how they feel. If you would have gave me $7 million when I was 19 years old, I'd be in prison. I was completely out of my mind, totally irresponsible, and I didn't care what happened from day to day. I just wanted cool shit to happen. I didn't care if I got arrested. I didn't care about anything. It's out of my fucking mind. I had no sense of consequence. I didn't even think I'd see 30. You know? And maybe that's why I ended up in the military, because you got to like not... And that's what we did when I was, you know what I did in the military? I'd blow my whole check on the weekend, because you know what? May go to Iraq. You know, it's an athlete's mentality. It's not a good adult mentality, but I think it explains a lot of strange behavior and motivation. Or it's like, you know, Zach Parise's been injured before, you know? And maybe he looks at it like, you know what? I'm playing hockey for a living a game. I don't want to fucking get killed. Oh, I got too much. This is the other way to look at it. So, but we haven't walked in their shoes. I'm not saying that they deserve sympathy or they don't, or they're above criticism. But do remember, especially guys my age, that you were once their age, and imagine an unlimited amount of money, an unlimited amount of women, an unlimited amount of offers of drugs, temptation, and you ask yourself, could you do it? And maybe when somebody fucks up, you'll be a little less judgmental and a little less understanding. And just because they fuck up doesn't mean there shouldn't be consequences. So I'm not hero worshiping here, to make it clear. I'm done.
Sounds good.
Good, done. Great calls today. I like when the show kind of like show hosted itself today. It's fun. The only problem is like, look, my communication is between the fan and the person calling in. We talk about hockey. And then when the fans don't call in, which is fucking often, you know, I got the host there. So it does kind of suck that Mecca Matt didn't get the time. You know.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, well, you guy got a good team. Good peeps. Good peeps. Guess what, everybody? Oh, I didn't put the thing in. Reaction show live tonight. Game starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got it at 1:45, like 6:45 Eastern Standard Time that I'm going live. I may go live a half an hour full that. Before that, I will do a live reaction show. You guys, a lot of y'all really, really dig it. You know, just go down the street and buy a beer for tonight. I'm not getting drunk tonight. That happening. And
save that for the Jungle Book.
You can save that for the Jungle Book. And you guys can all hang out with me, and you guys seem to like that, and I'll eat potato chips and comment on these dopes, and I'll tell you what broadcast I'm doing and all that other good shit. So we'll do that tonight. Watch Rangers. And don't worry, if the Rangers get eliminated, I'll do this throughout the playoffs. Or maybe Stanley Cup. I don't know. Yeah. We usually do live right after Stanley Cup sometimes. Bow, 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 bow. So, yeah, check it out. It's a live event right here on Shot from the Point Hockey. I hope you like. I hope you sub. I hope you share. And last night of the National Hockey League, after all we had to say, Capitals defenseman. You know what defenseman I'm talking about? I'm talking about Woodbridge, New Jersey's own, or which township own?
John Carlson.
John Carlson from New Jersey. You know, if the Rangers get eliminated, I am pulling for the Caps because I want somebody from my hometown with their name on the cup. You probably have like 20 guys with their name on the cup from your hometown, right?
Advocare.
Oh, he's from your town. Oh, God, everybody's Syrian over there. By the way, what did you think about what he did?
Well, if he's not a chicken for not fighting Boyle, he's definitely a chicken for punching a guy while he's on the floor.
Bingo. That says it all right there. Yeah, Jason Pominville. I tell you something. Jason Pominville got the 3rd star of the game on Puck Daddy, right? But the guy who made the play was Nino Niederreiter. Pominville just finished. Beautiful play. Good team. Heads up by Pominville. But Nino Niederreiter made the play. Boy, when he gets his skates going, that's something else. Dallas shocks the Stars 5-3. Don't think that's going anywhere else. Good game out there in San Jose. Fans are hot, ready to rock and roll, ready to do all sorts of stuff. You know, this is a really I thought I loaded it. Go to Puck Daddy and just fuck it. Something funny happened. I mean, I'll just do it for tomorrow. I don't care. 0.5% of something, still repulsive behavior. Embarrassing, no excuse. Not trying to defend it. No, I'm really. I see no Slack Delta. I'll talk to him afterwards. All right, then Tanner Pearson. He scores the big goal in OT. Good game, entertaining, nice series. And again, I'm glad that they didn't go up 3-0. I think the goes to 3-0 would have hurt them. So, good. I'm fucking ecstatic. Go Sharks, go. Oh, that's another thing about the Sharks. Do you know, all right, the Rangers and the Panthers, they go, let's go, Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's 2 syllables. I'm watching these dopey fucking California hockey fans, and they add a syllable to Sharks. Let's go, Sharks. It's fucking funny. What do you guys do? Do what the Leafs do. Go Leafs, go. Go Sharks, go. It rolls off the tongue, kind of nice. Let's go, Sharks. You big dorks. What's the matter? What's the matter with you guys? Maybe now I have to show this goddamn video. This is really funny. This is California hockey to a T. Oh, I got to get this up. Oh, this is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, Sharks fan, right? And she's behind the thing. I got to show this. It's so goddamn funny. And she's really pumped up. She's lucky she's an OT hockey game. This better work. Come on. Here we go. You got to check this chick out. Look at her. She's right there in the center. And the King scored. She's like, yeah! California hockey right there. It's fucking funny. Let's go, Sharks. Sharks.
More like let's go, Sharks.
Let's go, Go, Sharks, go. What are you, fucking idiots? It's 1 syllable. Big dummies. Tonight in the National Hockey League, Tampa Bay Lightning. They're starting off Game 3 in Detroit. Detroit had a good showing last time. A really good showing, actually. But Tampa leads that series 2-1. New York Rangers tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wait a minute. It's 1-1? All right, they split the damn series up, so they'll be in New York tonight. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I just lost my head.
Yeah.
That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The magical St. Louis Chicago Blackhawks series continues. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check that one out. Maybe the Blues can go up 3-1. Put Chicago in a hole. That would be something. Maybe we can get rid of the Blues. Maybe we get rid of the goddamn Blackhawks. Maybe we get rid of the Ducks and get rid of the Kings all at once. It'd be great. Maybe my team would have half a chance. Then we just got to get rid of Washington. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Anaheim Ducks down 2-0 and lost them both in SoCal. Nashville Predators. Really, they're surprising a lot of people, but they shouldn't because they're a very good hockey team this year. The Nashville Predators. You know that?
Yep.
Would you agree?
I think it's more Anaheim that's not performing to where they're supposed to.
I would agree. I don't know. They're kind of choke artists too.
Yeah. James Neal, who's a little pest, put his stick in Gibson's mask.
Did he? Who does he think he is?
Yeah.
Eric Stahl.
Mark
Stahl, Eric Stahl. All the stalls. You know what? All you stalls, get out of my crate. Like, sub, share. Let them know, bitches. Let them know.
The officials are ISIS members.
ISIS members.